Yo, what is up guys? This is Cory back in the shop at ECS Tuning, and today I'm going to show you how to properly service your manual transmission on your Mark 7 GTI. Alright, a couple things you're going to need for this service. 3 liters of gear oil. I recommend changing the drain plug, especially with our ECS drain plug that's magnetic. Since the transmissions don't have a filter, this collects all the metal shavings and sediment at the bottom. Then whenever you change it out, you just clean it off. All right, so another great option would be the Modal Gear 300. This is also offered in one of our assembled by ECS kits and is a great choice for hard-driven performance cars that have lightweight flywheels. So once your car gets up to operating temp, the slightly thicker oil reduces the gearbox noise, therefore making your driving experience that much better. So those of you with lightweight flywheels, you might want to go this route. All right, so I'm going to go over the tools we need for this service. First of all, I have a torque wrench. Up next is a 3/8 ratchet. I have one here from Schwaben, made it up to a 10 mil hex. Some of you guys are going to need a set of triple squares for the drain plug and fill plug. You'll find that out when you get underneath there. So our new one, our ECS Magnetic plug, requires a 17 mil. So if you plan on installing one of those, make sure you got one. I'm sure you do. You're going to need some sort of T25 to pull the screws on the belly pan. We have our ECS Street Shield installed, so if you do, you'll need a 5 mil hex. And last but not least, I'm sure you guys have seen one of these before. You guessed it, the Schwaben extractor and fill pump. This thing's gonna make it super easy for putting fluid in after we drain it. Oh, and don't forget, your oil sucks and stinks bad, so have some rags handy. So let's get started. All right, so obviously you're gonna need to lift your car up. We have lifts here at ECS. The next step after lifting it will be taking the street shield off using your T25. One more. Got some spacers up top. Then this should just slide right out. Okay, so I have the skid plate dropped down and I'm ready to take the fill plug and drain plug loose, but always make sure to take the fill plug loose first, because if you drain all your fluid out and you can't get the fill plug undone, you're not going to be able to put any kind of fluid back in there and you're screwed. For most of you, you'll be needing a 10 mil Allen or hex for the drain and fill plug. Obviously, we have ECS plugs installed, so I'm going to be using the 17 mil. All right, so before we crack this open, make sure to have a pan, some kind of container to catch the gear oil that's going to come out. All right, so now we're good to go to loosen the fill plug first, like I said earlier. A little bit's going to come out, that's normal. Ooh, it looks like our magnetic plug is doing its job. There's a bunch of gunk on there, which is super helpful because these trans don't have filters. So this kind of catches everything at the bottom, keeping it out of the gears and everything. All right, safe to say the fill plug came out. So it's time to remove the drain plug. Ooh, make sure you have your pan under. Keep your face clear because the stuff does not smell pleasant. Now we'll come from this way. Curious to see how much sediment is on this. Yummy. Here's just a little representation of what this drain plug actually does. I mean, the fill plug was bad, but all this is metal shavings. It's protecting your trans from any kind of nastiness. All right, so the easiest way to fill this thing is to just crack one open. No, not a cold one, a stinky one. So just drop this guy down. Make sure your valve's open. Ooh. Just don't want to spill anything. There we go. And we're good to fill. Okay, looks like it's done dripping, so it's time to clean off the drain and fill plugs. These are the same, by the way, for either one. So if you feel like it, like we did, we use the drain as the fill, so just so we don't have to use two different tools. So make sure you put the bottom one in by hand. I'm going to go ahead and torque this to 30 Newton meters. It's not much, but it's enough. Okay, so now that we have the drain plug torqued, it's time to fill this thing up using a Volkswagen recommended high performance oil. This is a 75 weight. You can upgrade to a 75/90 or 75/80. It all depends on your driving style, but we like to use what's recommended by Volkswagen, and so should you. So let's go ahead and fill it up. Just gotta pop the top, slide that guy down, open your valve here at the bottom. Oh, nice. And fill her up. Oh, there you go. So like I said before, this thing isn't going to hold everything, but that's okay. We'll just have to refill it. Boom, we got a dripper. All right, so whenever you have a constant flow like this, you can go ahead and put your fill plug in. I went ahead and wiped it off just like I did on the bottom. And some of you might be wondering if it needs an O-ring or not, but no, it does not with the conical seat that we have on there. So go ahead and put it on by hand. Go ahead and torque it to 30 Newton meters, just like the bottom. Boom, that's it. I'm just gonna go ahead and take this brake parts cleaner and clean up these areas that got wet. It's a good time to check for leaks also. All right, guys, that wraps it up. That was the manual transmission service on a Mark 7 GTI. This was super easy to do, as you can tell. Any of you guys can do it at home. The only thing I left out was removal or installation of the belly pan, which is the same as removal. Just like always, like, comment, and subscribe. Make sure to check out our other videos, and make sure to check out the product link in the description below for all the stuff that we used today. I'm gonna go ahead and wash up and get this gear stink off me. But until then, see you next time.